15th at 7:34 p.m.
Councilwoman Selby,
Present.
Councilman Cardicini,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin.
Not present.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Selby, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Pastor, would you like to come up and take invocation? Right there, the microphone. Yes, thank you. And I appreciate you coming out tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the privilege of serving on.
Sure.
That's it.
I think it was on, so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the privilege of being part of the meeting tonight. We've been your neighbor, it will be 35 years next year. Actually, we're the tenants. Bees have been there longer than we have. But, I do pray for you all, especially since Jay spearheaded this opportunity for ministers. Grateful for that. And I've been on the website, so I will be praying for you all by name before the Lord. Let's pray. O Lord, you are the governor of the nations, and bow before you to acknowledge your greatness. Thank you, Lord, for ordaining the world and the country, even Boston, New York. Thank you, Lord, for the beauty of our town, for its antiquity, and Lord, especially for our elected and appointed officials. You said in Romans that they are your servants, and thank you for them. I do pray that you would give them wisdom and protection and guidance. Help us as citizens to facilitate their jobs. Lord, we especially pray for safety in this dangerous world, for our various assemblies and meetings, our school teachers and students, our public events, especially, Lord, the summer recreation. Pray for our people, for our homes, families, neighborhoods. Lord, grant protection, we pray, from wicked people. May it be that you come down and you make this world safer as people turn to you. Thank you for our EMTs and our troopers in town. Pray that you protect them as they're in harm's way. Bless, Lord, for their efforts. And so now may this meeting glorify God. We pray in Jesus' name.
All right, thank you again. We have no other preliminary matters, so we'll move on to regular business. The first item under regular business this evening is the correction and adoption of the minutes from the May 18th, 2022 board meeting. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I did have an opportunity to read the minutes from the regular board meeting on May 18th, 2022. And I make no suggestions for edits or changes. Make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 2 under regular business this evening is the consideration of all fund bills. And Councilman Cardicini, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to make a motion that we pay the bills in the amount of $386,412.28.
We did have a second batch too.
Oh, from the previous.
Yep, sorry, no worries.
I think that was the total.
No, that's,
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, you're right. You are
Yeah,
correct.
that was the total combining
Yes, I'm sorry,
January
there's
1st
two.
and January,
My fault,
or June
my apologies.
1st, June 15th.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Cardicini,
yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, under correspondence, we have quite a bit of correspondence, 11 items to be exact. All items have been received and filed in the town clerk's office. The first item is a letter from the Erie County Clerk's Office, which was their annual report for 2021, received and filed. The North Boston Fire Company Form 990 for 2021. The third item was a letter from Maplewood Cemetery Association, which has been received and filed. Item 4 is a NYSEG news release for NYSEG and RG&E announced to Reliable Energy New York plans. Item 5 is NYSEG's Renewable Energy New York Investing in Our Future document. Item 6 is a letter from NYSEG General Counsel Jeffrey Rosenblum. That's been received and filed. Item 7 is a Town of Boston Dog Control report for May 2022. Item 8 is the Town Clerk's monthly report for May 2022. Item 9 is a resignation letter from Herbert R. Berlin from the Board of Assessment Review. Item 10 is a letter from the North Boston Volunteer Fire Company, sadly announcing that the 50 Grand Gala it will be held virtually. It will not be an in-person event this year. And item 11 is a letter from Patchen Volunteer Fire Company announcing and notifying of their July 4th annual boot drive fundraiser. All those items have been received and filed in the Town Clerk's office. Moving along to new business, item 4 is a request from the floor. If anyone is in the audience and would like to come up to the microphone and comment on any items, please state your name, address, and you have a 3-minute time limit. The floor is open.
Jay Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. My hope is, Supervisor Keating, that you will be able to give an update on the lion shelter walls, any progress that may have been made in recent history. Thank you very much.
Richard Hawkins, 6892 Pin Oak Drive. I would like to thank our town clerk and all her staff and anybody that was involved with the Memorial Day service that we had a few weeks ago. It was really nice to see after 2 years of the COVID and not being able to go out to do that and stuff, to have that event take place and the parade and everything, and especially to see one of our senior people who lives in town, the third client coming up and being able to, as he has done in the past, of being able to recognize the servicemen in town and stuff. And it was, if you missed it, you missed a great event, because it was really nice to have it. So I just want to thank the town clerk and her help for everything that was done that day.
Thank you, Rich. And it really wouldn't be what it is without the community involvement.
Okay, with no other comment, I will close the floor. All right, item number 2 under new business tonight is Resolution 2022-33, declaring a 2003 Ford F-550 surplus equipment and authorizing the disposal through auction. And Councilwoman Sully, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-33, declaring the 2003 Ford F-550 equipped with a chipper box fabricated by the town of Boston to be declared surplus property, and Highway Superintendent shall oversee the sale of this property. I'd like to make a motion for this surplus equipment.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Kardikini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 3 tonight is Resolution 2022-34, which is the New York State Standard Workday and Reporting Resolution. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. The standard workday and reporting resolution is attached in the packet. Let's see. I make a motion that this is the New York State and local retirement system for those who've signed up for it and provided their information. I make a motion that we approve resolution 2022-34.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Kardikini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 4 is Resolution 2022-35, authorizing a lease of a mail-in copier. And Councilwoman Sully, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-35, where the town clerk identified a need for a new copier, where we received a quote from Western New York Imaging Systems for a new Corsa Task 4054C, and the lease and maintenance of the new copier will be $160 a month for the next 60 months.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 5 is Resolution 2022-36, authorizing procurement of the Independence Day celebration fireworks display. Councilman Carter Keating, would you like to take that item?
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd like to adopt Resolution 2022-36, which authorizes the procurement of Independence Day celebration fireworks display in the amount of $10,000 from Skylighters of New York LLC.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 6 is a resolution again, 2022-37, authorizing an additional accessory building located at 6290 Farner Road. And Councilman Lukashev, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. So 2022-37 resolution is for an additional accessory building at 6290 Farner Road. This was gone through the zoning board and approved, and this is a type 2 action. No seeker action or determination is required for a 12 by 14 square foot accessory building. I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 7 is Resolution 2022-38 for engineering services for the senior center HVAC upgrades. I'll take this item tonight. Previously, the town board had approved a resolution for this community development block grant program. This resolution will account for those charges. The second whereas reads, it was originally contemplated that Erie County would handle the engineering work as required successfully to complete the project, but the resources ultimately available to the county were not sufficient to complete the task pursuant to the town's needs. And whereas town engineer Clark Patterson Lee assisted in completing the design and bidding for the project, in order to properly account for the expenses to be attributed to the project, CPL has been requested to prepare a separate proposal for its fee in connection with the work. Now therefore be resolved that on behalf of the town of Boston, the town supervisor is hereby authorized to accept Clark Patterson Lee's May 5th, 2022 proposal to perform engineering services required to complete the senior center HVAC upgrade project for a total fee not to exceed $12,500. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 22-38.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Item number 8 tonight is Resolution 2022-39, approval for bid for the North Boston Town Park Restroom and Pavilion. Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-39, whereas Lavella Associates solicited bids for the necessary work at the North Boston Town Park and Restrooms and Pavilion, and the Boston was awarded $100,000 in grant funding to help fund this project. In addition, we have also ARPA funds available that would exceed the grant, and the low bidder was Sicily Construction Services for a total of $466,700. So I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and make this project going forward using ARPA funds, CDBG, and also the total project cost.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Curtis,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashev.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 9 is Resolution 2022-40, authorizing early voting poll location lease agreement. And Councilman Carter Keating, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you Supervisor Keating. I'd like to adopt Resolution 2022-40 that authorizes early voting poll location lease agreement with the Erie County Board of Elections in the amount of $900.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Not that we have a choice in that one, right?
No, not exactly. No, no. Item number 10 is Resolution 2022-41, approving a quote to add a doorway to access storage in the town building, which also is known as the Emergency Squad building. I'll take this item tonight. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 22-41. Pursuant to the town's procurement policy, the town employees, our town labor most specifically, secured multiple quotes for the required work, and all three quotes received, we received the written quote of FSR, which is Frank Sam Robert Contracting, in the amount of $6,275, which represents the lowest bid to perform the work as required. So I'd like to make a motion to approve that resolution for that work to be performed.
Second?
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 11 is Resolution 2022-42, authorizing of an additional accessory building located at 7334 Chestnut Ridge Road. Councilwoman Lukashevich, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. An additional accessory building was awarded, well, it was agreed at the zoning board for 7334 Chestnut Ridge Road. Let's see, and it's a seeker act, no further action or determination needed. It's a 30 by 56 square foot accessory building. I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes.
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 12 tonight is Resolution 2022-43, authorizing a second amendment and extension of the solid waste collection and disposal agreement. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item tonight?
Sure, Supervisor Keating, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-43, authorizing the extension of a solid waste collection and disposal agreement with Waste Management. This is just, the current term is going to expire June 30th, 2022, and this agreement just provides for a renewal of terms and the underlying bid, including several options. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt this resolution.
A second?
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 13 is Resolution 2022-44, which is called NYMEP, which is an NYMEP, Energy Supply Vendor Change. And Councilman Karakini, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to adopt resolution number 2022-44, which is a NYMEP energy supply vendor change. In a nutshell, this allows us to lock in our energy rates for the next year.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving right along here, item number 14 is Resolution 2022-45. This is for Boston water main replacement change orders. There was some additional information that we were waiting on from the engineer, so I'd like to make a motion to table that item tonight to the next town board meeting.
I'll second the motion.
Councilwoman Selby,
Yes?
Councilman Karakini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashevich.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I'm going to move, so items 15, 16, and 17 are very similar, but items 15, 16, and 17 are resolutions numbered 2022-46, 2022-47, and 2022-48. I'll let Councilwoman Selby explain these. She's done an extensive amount of work on those, and let her take those items.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, these are a long time coming, and as drainage liaison, I'm very happy to propose adoption of these resolutions. Coming to a head here, helping with Mark Gessen from Erie County Soil and Water. The first resolution is 2022-46, It's authorizing funds for the town's share of the cost of Erie County Soil and Water Conservation District project at Trevett Road. I'd like to adopt that resolution first.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. The second one, this is so exciting. Resolution number 2022-47, authorizing funds for the town's share of costs for Erie County Soil and Water Conservation District for the project at Park Drive site.
I'll second that.
And resolution number 2022-48, authorizing funds for the town's share of cost of Erie County Soil and Water Conservation District project at the Eckerd Road site.
I'll second that one as well.
So each one, we'll have to vote, right?
Yeah, yes, roll call for each
And we'll
one.
do a roll call for each one. So the first one is 2022-46. Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
Yes,
Supervisor Keating?
absolutely yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried. Next one is Resolution 2022-47. Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
Yes,
Supervisor Keating?
yes,
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried. And Resolution 2022-48. Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
yes,
Supervisor Keating?
yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great projects. And item 18 tonight under our agenda is Resolution 2022-49, bless you, which is authorizing, authorizing the town contribution of water conservation project with the Erie County Soil and Water Conservation District on Sunset Lane. Councilwoman Selby.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Another long time project that's been hanging out there for several years, and I would like to happily make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-49, authorizing the town contribution for water conservation project with Erie County Soil and Water Conservation District on Sunset Drive. And this also incorporates our highway superintendent to do some work there as he sees fit and get this place cleaned up and help out those residents down there on the road. So I appreciate all the help in getting these resolutions to a head, and I happily would like to propose that resolution.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving right along. Item number 19 is Resolution 2022-50 for a site plan approval for an additional building at the Boston South Storage. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. So at the planning board last night, the planning board had been presented the site plan for the for additional building at Boston Self-Storage located at 7849 Boston State Road. After several questions and discussion, the planning board approved unanimously, so I am requesting approval from the town board to agree to resolution number 2022-50 for Boston Self-Storage for their site plan approval for the additional building.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Cardicchini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 20 tonight under new business is the application for use of facility for the Conservation Advisory Council Local Environmental Awareness Fair, or also known as LEAF 2022 Community Event. And Councilman Cardicchini, would you take that item tonight?
Sure. We have an application for use of facility from Caitlin Tucker with the Town of Boston Conservation Advisory Council. They want to do a community outreach event. They expect 125 people on September 10th. Setup is from 8:30 to 10, takedown is 3 to 4:30. They're requesting the town hall community with kitchen and bathroom facilities, the Lions Shelter. They are not serving alcohol, they're not having a private party, and, well, they are having,
It's a community outreach.
yeah, community event. So it's a public special event.
Yep.
Madam Clerk, is the facility they're requesting available?
Yes, it is.
I make a motion that we approve their application for use of facility.
A second?
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Kartikini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 21 tonight, under new business, is the application for use of town meeting facility from the Boston Democratic Social Club. And Councilwoman Selby, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We have a application for use of facilities from Boston Democratic Social Club, Barbara Moore. And they would like to use the meeting room, planning board room, on June 21st, 2022, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'd like to approve this application for use of town facilities.
I'll second. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes?
Councilman Kartikini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 22 under new business is another application for use of town meeting facility from the Erie County Magistrates Association. Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Deborah Bender, Town Justice of Town of Boston, is requesting the courtroom for September 17th, 2022, at 9 a.m. for a meeting for the Erie County Magistrates Association. This would, number of attendees is anticipated of 50. Is this date available?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. Make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selby?
Yes.
Councilman Kartikini?
Yes.
Supervisor Keating?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, tonight we do not have any other old business under item number 4, so moving on to reports and presentations. Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. First, I'd like to report that the new blacktop roller that we received a month or so ago is working out very well. It's a very nice machine. The new trailer that we just got for hauling the roller is very nice and working out well. The town highway department, we still have some wood chips, and we still have some fill. So anybody looking for wood chips or fill, we have that. Once again tonight, I'm going to bring up about the brush and leaf pickup account that we go over on budget every year, which is a general fund charge for picking up brush and leaves. I'm bringing up tonight because I sent a couple questions to Highway School, which the legal panel with lawyers and all kinds of important people there, about brush and leaf pickup, is if it is a general fund charge, and they all agree it is. And I asked them, if we go over budget like we have the last 3 years, I told them that the bookkeeper takes the money out of my highway fund account to pay off the general fund account, and she and the panel agreed that is wrong. They can borrow the money, but they gotta pay the money back. So I'd like to sit down with the bookkeeper and try to get this ironed out and get it taken care of before we have to call in the state controller or whoever, because what is happening, I believe, is misappropriation of the funds. And we've talked about this several times, and it seems like the supervisor doesn't agree with this, so we're gonna get to the bottom of it one way or the other. I mean, it's a general fund charge. It's really up to the town board and the supervisor to let the people in town know about the brush and leaf pickup and when the season is. And they do a pretty good job. It's in the tax bill, it's online. But then again, people say, well, we don't get a tax bill because it's paid out of our mortgage or however it works, I don't know. And then other people say, well, I don't have a computer, so they don't see it on the line. But it should be somehow out there to the people in town when brush pickup is. It's every year the same time, April 1st, May 1st, September 1st, and October 1st. And after October brush pickup, we pick up leaves. So I don't know how to let the people know, but I mean, I could go out with the guys, people call, and I said the town board voted on not picking up brush other than them 4 months. So it's up to the town board. I have guys, when other guys are on vacation, there are days in June that I could send a couple guys out and ship brush, which I'd be glad to do, but when the town board tells me not to go out because it's not the brush pickup season, we don't go out. So other than that, that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Fair enough, thank you. I'd just like to comment on a couple of those things. So the bookkeeper, we did, and there are emails, date and time stamped to verify what I'm about to put on record. We have suggested that you come down to meet with us multiple times. That opportunity has not been taken up until this conversation here tonight on record. Brush and leaf pickup, that's a service by the highway department. It has nothing to do with the town board. The town board is the financial individuals that are responsible for creating the budget. Once the town board establishes the budget, that is turned over to the department heads, which you are respectfully as a highway superintendent. And at which point, it is your responsibility to manage that budget as far as the collection, managing the manpower, the equipment, the machinery, the costs, everything else. That is your responsibility. It has nothing to do with the town board. For many years, even prior to any of us up here as 5 independently elected officials, that schedule has been on the town website for years. It does go out with the courtesy of the town clerk putting out in the tax bills, just as you stated. And then as far as the costs associated with that, prior to myself coming into office, there was $50,000 put away in brush and leaf collection pickup. If anyone would like to foil or come into my office to take a look at what those charges were submitted prior to that, that budget had actually gone over substantially on the back door, $90,000 or more for brush and leaf collection, which is why there's an established schedule, because without an established schedule, the charges, just as you clearly state, which are a general fund charge, those are charged back. If we do not set a schedule, those become an uncontrolled cost that the 5 board members and the bookkeeper are responsible for managing the taxpayer's dollar. Brush and leaf is expensive, yes, I certainly acknowledge that, but again, without some kind of control mechanism, which is the schedule, that is a runaway cost, and as the highway, any highway will bill back to the general fund, brush and leaf collection, that general fund charge, you can only hit that general fund charge before at some point you have to go back to your fund balance. At some point, once that fund balance gets too low, think like your savings account. If you had your own personal life, so think of your fund balance kind of like it's similar to a checking account, and then you have a transmission fail in your car and you don't have enough money in your checking account, so you have to go into your savings. Once you go into your savings, of course your savings comes down. To replenish that, you have to start to level that out. Well, again, this is taxpayer money. There's requirements for that for that fund balance, which is our procurement policy. That explains this, which has been adopted by all 5 of us board members, and there's minimums that are there. Once that gets too low, we have to replenish that. Again, the town board then looks to the approximately 8,200 residents of the town of Boston for that money. If we look at exploring additional collection, I'm not necessarily against it. I'm just saying that money comes from that account, and that is a cost directly to the taxpayer. We're also, as 5 board members and a bookkeeper, we're also up against a 2% tax cap. With that 2% tax cap, that's an approximate growth factor. Again, these numbers are not exactly static, these does fluctuate, so we're talking about percentages here. But that's about a growth factor of between 67 and 70, let's say approximately $70,000 per year. $50,000 in brush, if you start going over that, you start to chew up that 2% tax cap. In that 2% tax cap is your fire contracts and all the other associated contracts. Cost of fuel right now, which we all know is much higher. Cost of asphalt, which is well over, the last I checked, correct me if I'm wrong, that's over $100 a ton for asphalt right now. So all these other associated costs roll into that. 5 board members are responsible for managing that. So yes, if we have to say that there's only so much money in the budget, that is our fiduciary responsibility as town board members. But as far as the account codes, as I clearly stated downstairs, if the account code did not exist, you do receive, and it has been done this way for many years. There's an account code which originates not from the town of Boston, but from the Interstate Comptroller's office. That account code for many years, yes, it does get charged against that. I agree with what you're telling me. However, at the end of the year, once all those charges are there, that money comes back and it gets reimbursed out of the general fund. That is a proper mechanism, that is a proper way to handle that. And it is, again, it's filed on the annual update document, which gets filed with the New York State every year.
But when you take the money out of the highway account and put in there, and then you give it back to the highway account, it really isn't getting paid from the general fund. And the other
I'd
thing
be
is,
happy to show you that.
you're saying that it's my budget to manage. Well, people want their brush picked up, and when I tell them we can't pick it up because you say no, there is enough money in there this year, because I put extra money in that account this year for the first time. I did the general fund line, which I shouldn't be doing, for the brush pickup. You let me do that, and I put more money in it. It's my first year I've ever done that line. So I do have enough money to go out there, but when the town board and yourself tell me not to go up and pick up the brush, I don't go out and pick up the brush. Are you all right if I send my guys out to pick up brush in June and July, certain days?
You have your budget to manage, so if you spend more money now, then you will likely not have that money come fall for leaf collection.
Well, if we go over budget, then you just take it out of my account anyway, like you've been in the last 3 years.
I'd be happy to disclose to anyone these records and the financials. This is simple math that anyone can do with a calculator.
Like I say, I hope we can get this all situated with the bookkeeper in the next week or two.
Take us up on that offer to come down and check with us, Bob. Happy to have that conversation.
Because I know this year you put more money in the account for the highway department to mow shoulders and do tree work on the right of way. That is the D account, correct or wrong?
There is $15,000 additional money, ladies and gentlemen, that was put into the account because the brush that is down by the highway
No,
barn.
I'm talking about the D account, 5140 for mowing shoulders and doing tree work on the right of way.
So there's money that was increased there, and the town board also increased funds for the brush pile that is down there that you provided proposals, the quotes, that came into the town. We appropriated $15,000 additional to that. So yes, has that money gone up this year? Yes, because we've been listening to you. You've also been very kind in working with the worksheets that we have that show the charge back to the taxpayer for brush and leaf collection. That is for equipment, labor hours, fuel, etc. I agree with you 100% on all this. Again, this is all math. So at the end of the day, the tracking mechanism is the sheets supplied by highway. The schedule is set by highway. You send actually Allison in my office, my confidential secretary, the schedule that gets posted to the town website. Again, the town clerk documents that and puts it out with a tax bill. All of this is handled by highway. This is not scheduling or determining a schedule for brushing leaf collection is not a function or responsibility of a town board. We are the financial individuals responsible for the taxpayer's dollar.
It's a general fund account, so you should be the one notifying the residents and telling them what is what about it.
It's not our-
General fund account, it's not a highway.
I'm not about to get into arguing whose
I don't
responsibility it is.
argue either,
But is it not interesting that you are you're the independently elected highway superintendent responsible for highway workers with under New York State highway law, you're individually responsible for all the tools, equipment, and machinery in the highway department? That's New York State law. That is.
When the town board tells me now to go out and pick up brush outside brush season, that kind of affects my ability to do my job.
At what point does the town board look to the taxpayer sitting in this room and say, at what point do we put a cap on brush? Because effectively, if you were to collect 12 months out of the year, that becomes an uncontrolled cost. The five of us up here report to 8,200 people in the town of Boston.
Believe me, my
And
guys
it's
don't
our,
pick up brush 12 months out of the year. They hate to
excuse me,
pick up
just let me speak here. 8,200 taxpayers pay our salaries, and we are merely the stewards of the taxpayer dollar. We're responsible for managing that. That is one of my primary functions as a supervisor, as the chief financial officer. Again, if we collect for 12 months, could we do that? Sure, but I can tell you right now, folks, if for the timeline that the highway superintendent just spoke of, if we're spending $50,000 there, this is simple math. Figure that's roughly 4 months of pickup. Now add on the additional months throughout the entire year, what the brush collection would be. I don't have that exact number, but we have to create any control mechanism. This would be in corporate America, local government, or any other area. I'm not arguing it, but again, we have, all due respect, the bookkeeper's office and I have sent multiple emails inviting you to have a conversation with us, and that opportunity has not ever been taken up from us. And I'd be happy to share that email with a date and time stamp on it to anyone that happens to ask my office about it.
Like I say, April and May, there's a lot of brush to pick up because everybody's putting it out. June, there's only a few people that put it out. It would take us probably 2 days or 3 days to cover the whole town. And I think it's what the taxpayers want. They're the ones paying our salaries.
Then adjust your schedule, Bob. Instead of April, May, do a May, June. It's not my job to manage that. It's not the five of us up here to manage that. You're responsible for the highway union workers employed by the town of Boston. That is your responsibility, not the town board.
Everybody when they call, the supervisor Keating. So
And you've been doing that, yes, but actually it's not the proper thing to do. It's actually that's your department. When I explain it to the residents, actually the residents understand it.
Yeah, what do they?
And other residents, I've actually taken my time to sit down with them and show them the financials. I explain the budget to them and show how it works. And truthfully, they walk away understanding, want to know why. I'm not going to get into the argument. We're done talking about this, but take us up on having that conversation about it. And if you'd like, I'd be happy to share that information with anyone here. I've always committed and promised openness and transparency, and I have never and never will go back on that. Councilwoman Sully, you have the floor.
Thank you. I wanted to say I was very honored to be part of the Memorial Day celebration, And I thank Town Clerk Quinlan for organizing the event. It was well attended, well enjoyed by all. And it was my first event being part of it, and I was very humbled to be there. So thank you for that. In addition, I wanted to also give my kudos out to the team who were able to work together in order to get the resolutions passed tonight. Town Attorney Costello did a lot of work this meeting, putting all that stuff together, and I appreciate that. As well as Supervisor Keating, Highway Superintendent Telak, going to the meetings, organizing everything. End result, drainage, 4 things checked off the list, which have been on my bucket list for honestly 3 years. So thank you to that. And that is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilman Carter King, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Just want to let everybody know that the fire contracts are underway. We had our first meeting, I believe it was last week, that we all sat down together and started talking about, forward-looking picture. Spirit of that meeting was very good, and I expect that we'll be successful in our negotiations. I also had the great honor to attend the Memorial Day festivities. Town Clerk Quinlan and her committee did an awesome job, and there were a number of people that traveled in for it, including David Schenk, who really organized the color guard that Kathy and I participated in. It's pretty special in 2022 that you're in a town park listening to a town band and it was very well attended by the residents. It was very special, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's a great event, and also want to thank the town band for coming out to play. I mean, those are people that are just getting together to play music, as Herb Klein likes to say. And it was a pleasure to meet Fred Shear in person. The 4th of July celebration's coming up. My mother used to say when Memorial Day hit, your summer was over, and here we are staring down the barrel of 4th of July. I'm astounded that we are able to put on the fireworks display that we do for the small amount of money that we spend to do it. And the reason is because the gentleman that does the fireworks is a resident of our town. And he takes great pride in putting together what I would say is arguably the best fireworks show in Erie County. For $10,000 is unheard of. So looking forward to attending that event. I expect we will be full. The word is out about the Town of Boston fireworks in Erie County. We have a lot of people in town. I ask everybody to be safe and courteous to each other. It's a busy evening here in the Town of Boston. So, and regarding drainage, I wanted to thank not only Councilman Selby, but Bob Telak, Jason Keating, Sean Costello, and Mark Gaston of Erie County Water and Soil. These municipal things, they don't move quickly, and they take time. And what they really need and got were dedicated people that understood how we had to go about getting these things done. And there's a lot to be said for having good relationships with people at all levels of, whether it's local, county, state, they all matter. And when you have people that are making decisions and trying to work collectively to resolve issues for residents, that's really what it is. And so I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all the players in that, because they don't move. If there's no interest and there's no willingness to meet and look at these things and figure out a way to do it, if the spirit isn't there and the relationship isn't there, none of it tends to happen. It takes even longer. So it was a great honor to be able to second all those resolutions tonight, because I know how important they are to the people. I know how important they are to the town, and really the town infrastructure in a lot of cases. So that was a great thing tonight. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The Memorial Day event was fantastic, humbling and emotional. I loved listening to the band. I was in one when I was young, so it was cool. was awesome. All right, so moving on, thank you very much for the collaboration that occurred for our water projects, right? That is a tremendous move forward, as Councilman Cardicchini had said. The code committee has started. We are meeting an hour before the planning board meetings. And we've already started on 3 items. One is establishing a site plan waiver. The second is updating our second accessory building structure code. As you saw in our agenda here, we've got a couple of them that have to come to the town board after they receive their approval at the planning board or the zoning, depending on what that structure is. We're updating that, so there's not so much back and forth. And it's much more clear for the resident submitting their application, and it's much more clear for the ZBA and or planning board. So we'll be moving forward with some of those changes. And then we just had a couple typo issues in our code. So look forward to presenting our hearings on the updated codes. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I know that in the correspondence, there was the resignation letter from Herb Berlin from the Board of Assessment Review after 35 years of service. The Board of Assessment Review, I believe it is a 5-member board. Right now, we were down to 3 members. And so all 3 members had to be present during the day where you can challenge your assessment. It's a volunteer board. These individuals need to go for training to be part of this board. Now we will be down to 2 members. So it is necessary that we have some community involvement in this. So if you or you know someone in the town who is a real estate agent, has anything to do with home construction, commercial construction, they may be a good candidate for this board. So a letter could be submitted to myself or the assessor Fitzner for this position. This is the 4th Monday in May, the 4th Tuesday in May. But there is preparation for this that actually starts in September. So I just wanted to thank her for his continued support on that board for all of those years. And as Supervisor Keating had stated, my town clerk's report has been submitted to his office, and town events that are going on. So we start this Saturday with the Brinkerhoff Run. So if you have not signed up for the annual Brinkerhoff Memorial Run, please reach out to the website, Brinkerhoff Foundation, and that would be to Mike Brinkerhoff. So there is a website, and also I believe you can sign up in person Friday after 4 o'clock. We'll be here about 4 to 7 to sign folks up for that race on Saturday, which kicks off at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Also, Erie County Board of Elections will be set up here in the community room of the town hall, starting also on Saturday, June 18th. That will go through June 26th. And there is no voting on June 27th, and primary date is June 28th. The Boston Lions Club will be having their chicken barbecue on Sunday, June 19th. That is Father's Day. The tickets are $15, and you can get them right at the location where they will be set up, and that will be in the Three Girls parking lot. And that is $15. I don't know if I just said that or not. July 4th, the celebration for that, like Councilman Cardicchini had said, it should be a great event. Fireworks are at 10 p.m. and the town band will perform prior to those fireworks. And the summer concert series for the town of Boston will start on Tuesday, July 5th. When that schedule is complete, that will be available on the town of Boston website, and also a flyer will be here in the foyer of the town hall. The town of Colden has shared their summer concert series with us also. That will be held at their town gazebo on Wednesdays, starting tonight. So I believe their schedule is every other Wednesday, starting at 6:30. And that goes through September 11th. And the next Connect Life Blood Drive will be Tuesday, July 5th, from 2 to 7 in the community room. Please sign up for that by going online or contacting Barbara Moore directly at 716-912-2100. Town of Boston, we have an excellent turnout for all of our blood drives. Again, another place where our community just goes above and beyond. Thank you. That is all I have.
Okay. I just have a few things. A lot of this was already covered. Of course, Independence Day is back finally, thank goodness, but that should be a great event. Early voting, as the town clerk has stated, that does kick off this coming Saturday. Actually, as of tomorrow, there will be a link out on the town social media and website with all the polling places. For those that are not familiar or do not recall, as in the past with early voting, since it is fairly new in New York State, all of the polling locations listed are a area where you can vote. So if you live in the town of Boston, you happen to work up in, let's say, the North Downs, you can vote at any one of the designated locations. Again, this coming Saturday, June 18th, kicks off early voting beginning at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And all of those details will be on the town website and social media. The Brinkerhoff run that has actually had a great enrollment from what I heard from Mr. Brinkerhoff just recently. The town actually will be having a kind of I'll just kind of let it out here, but we will be doing a dedication. Trooper Brinkerhoff, back in the day, he played on Diamond 3, and there was a conversation that happened a long time ago, and it's actually Trooper Brinkerhoff's mother who brought it to my attention that there was a dedication that was going to happen, and I don't know what quite happened. None of my business what happened there, but something happened. She'd asked us what happened with the dedication. I said, and as a board, we said would make that happen. So there will be a plaque and a dedication, an unveiling of that dedication plaque at the run on Saturday. It won't be hung up, but our Parks Department will set that up the following week. So if any residents would like to attend that, they're certainly welcome, of course, to attend that race. Congregate dining. It's actually great to see. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to tell the town board some of this downstairs. We actually had a pretty full agenda tonight, as you can tell. But the nutrition program is growing here in the town of Boston, which is a senior congregate dining program. It's great to see. I know Rich is part of that program, and we continue to get new people enrolled. We're continuing to hope to try to grow that. There's an exercise program now. One of the other things that Erie County is also offering, we're looking into logistics of this, but one of the things is going to be a dinner menu. It's not just a lunch, but also a dinner menu. It's still going to be a suggested $3 per meal, but again, the cost to the person is zero. So if you can't, for whatever reason, financially, there's no questions asked. If you can't afford it, you just sign up for the meal, and that would all be coordinated to the nutrition staff. The nutrition phone number is on the town website. It is part of the phone system, the new phone system that we have at the town hall. That is an option on that upfront menu option. Just speak to them and they can give you the full details. But I did want to let the public know that if someone is in town or is now, our financial world is a little crazy, everything from the cost of food to gas. But if someone's in that need and qualifies for that program, that is something that is certainly available to them. So I wanted to try to get that word out. Mr. Jackson, you did have a question about the walls for the line shelter. So far, I have not found a vendor that can handle canvas that large. Yes, exactly. So if anyone has any leads for me, I'm open. But yes, that is the challenge right now. Boat bimneys, I mean, you name all the other canvas scenarios, I can find a vendor. Large sheets of canvas, just having the equipment to basically stitch something like that. So that's the answer on the back end for the canvas for the line shelter. Haven't forgotten about it, just trying to source somebody that's not that far away. I've actually gone as far out to Monroe County and down into Cat County, looking for certain leads that people have told me, hey, try this place, pick up the phone, it's an easy phone call, right? But yes, it's actually becoming an undertaking, sadly. We'll stay on it. I'll keep you posted. Actually, Mr. Jackson, you also did have a question out to me via email, in person at the microphone a while ago. Back Creek Road. I'm just going to go on record and put it here. There's been a lot of conversation over the years. Respectfully, Legislator Mills has come to the microphone multiple times and made comments about the slide on Back Creek Road that we sadly can stick 4 candles in a birthday cake and say we've been dealing with this for 4 years. Back Creek Road, as many of you may be aware, had a slide, actually my first year in office. I've been working with Channel 4 on this topic and others. Currently, in the holdup, in all defense of Erie County, it is not the county executive's fault. I will go on record saying that. It is not Erie County DPW's fault. I will go on record saying that. There is currently a legal situation between a property owner and that area. That is what is holding this situation up. I'm not comfortable giving further details, respectfully out of the property owner and resident of our community and Erie County, but that is what is holding this up. It is currently being handled in litigation, and hopefully once that is resolved, the commitment that the county is at least verbally committed to the town, is that the slide out, that slide area would have street bank stabilization, slide out repair, and then at which point, finally, at long last, see how this goes, but Legislator Mills has said this for quite a few times here on record also, but they will pave, resurface, and widen Back Creek Road from Shiro Road down to Mill. So something that's been long overdue. We've been talking about it, we've been hearing about it for years. If that verbal commitment comes true, I'm gonna be personally ecstatic. But that was great news. That came from the Commissioner Bill Geary directly to me. And he had no problem sharing that with me. The money has been appropriated. Actually, the stabilization project actually went out to bid. There was money allocated and set aside for that. And sadly, there's just this lingering legal confrontation going on. So again, looking to the taxpayers of our community, that's what's going on. If I have any more information, I'll be sure to follow up in a subsequent board meeting, at which time I get the information, but that's what's going on out there. And I did get kind of the blessing from Erie County to share that information again, because it's a legal matter. I have to be careful kind of what I say there. So but that's the update that I have for a follow-up. All right, town drainage, Councilwoman Selby, really, I can't thank you enough. I mean, those projects, all 4 of them, have been on the docket. Larry Murtha worked on them, respectfully. Councilman Murtha, Councilman Munger worked on some of these. And here we are many years later, to Councilman Cardichini's point, we finally have a plan in place. Some of that was part of the town drainage plan that we created, that we spent taxpayer money on. It is what it is, but that gave a kind of a funding mechanism and an identified way to start tracking drainage issues and concerns that when residents call the town hall or any one of us board members, we have a tracking mechanism and what's called a report. So if there's grant funding or other funding opportunities, whether it's through Erie County Soil and Water, we can provide this documentation. So anyway, the roll-up of all this after, again, many months of work, years even, is finally some action on this. And tonight I'm very happy. Thank you for all your work on this as well. Because really it's great to get these things off our, I hate to say off our plate, but really it's just these residents needed the help for the stream bank stabilization projects, and the resident needed the help down on that short road and cul-de-sac down there. And with Mark Gasson from Erie County Soil and Water was instrumental on that, and he did a lot of work here trying to work the section of the conservation, the conservation project, so we could get that taken care of. So 4 big projects addressed at long last, so very happy for that. Just a friendly reminder that this coming Monday, the town hall is closed. It is a holiday for the town. It's a federal holiday, so Juneteenth. So the offices will be closed. Piggybacking on the town clerk's comment about Connect Life, Jamie from Connect Life, he's one of the representatives in the area. Really, God bless these people in our community, first responders, citizens, and otherwise. So far to date, over 1,500 units have been collected. For those of you that follow blood drives and donations, just 1 unit saves 3 lives. So do the math on that. That's 4,500 people in our community, county, or otherwise that have been saved. Couldn't be here, couldn't do this without all of you. I know there's an individual that does not like their name brought up. I will certainly bring it up because there is a person that's instrumental in this. Councilman Carnegie knows this all too well as well. But Barbara Moore, she's the one spearheaded this behind the scenes. I wish she could be here. There is a Connect Life event coming up that she cannot attend. I'm going to attend, but she told me not to bring up her name, but I'm going to bring up her name at that event too. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying right now. So really, thanks to the public, thanks to our first responders, because our first responders that show up each and every event. This event has gotten so big. The town of Boston, our 36 square miles have basically set the bar, which Connect Life is using us as a model for their programs, for the structuring of platelet collection and other things. I mean, we're forming the process. So thank all of you. It's all about you guys, and most importantly Barb, because Barb started this. This was the torch that she carried, and she grew it to what it is today. So kudos and thank you, truly, all of you for all of your work and hard efforts on that. Summer concert series, we did just have the final band sign on. That list will be going out on the town website, social media, and Friday. I have seen it, of course I've seen it, but I've seen it. It's a great event. I look forward to having a summer concert series back in full swing. Should be a great event throughout the season. And actually, I'll let it get out of the way. We might have one additional bonus event coming up there too if we can land another contract. Can't let the name out of the bag just yet, but trust me, it'll be good. So it's all about our community, all about having fun, and that's all I have for tonight. So I will make a motion to end the meeting at 8:35 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Selvey,
Yes.
Councilman Cardini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek.
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.